Who doesn't love a good bake sale? From cookies and brownies to cakes and muffins, one young woman has been turning her love of baking into a mental health passion project. Hi, I'm Stephen G. Winmall. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm your host for the Aevidum podcast. Aevidum is a nonprofit that empowers students to shatter the silence around mental health and suicide. In this episode, we're talking to Sophie Fontecchio. She just graduated from high school, and she's the founder of Let's Bake the World a Better Place. As you'll hear, it's grown to much more than just baked goods. She's now making mental health care packages for students. Here's our conversation. Sophie, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I'm really inspired by the work you're doing, and I wanted to know what inspired you to create Let's Bake the World a Better Place.
Yeah, so Let's Make the World a Better Place never actually started as it was going to be a nonprofit organization. I started it when I was 14 years old in 2021. I had recently lost a friend to suicide, and I was struggling with figuring out how I could support my friend and his family and the initiatives in our community that were forming. In his name and to support students and community members with their own mental health. And that is when I came up with the idea. I've always been a big baker and I've always done bake sales and things like that with friends and family. And I came up with the idea to hold a bake sale. And that bake sale was going to support the nonprofit organization that my friend's mother was founding in his name. And after that, it kind of took off. I made $400 that first sale, and we were able to donate all of that to Rise Above, which is the organization. And after that, I just thought, why not? Why not just keep having bake sales? And so I kept having more and more bake sales for different organizations. It started off, some of them were international organizations like UNICEF, the Pancreatic Cancer Network. And then we kind of focused in on local organizations where we could actually see the impact in our community. So whether that was a women's shelter, a dog shelter, another community mental health organization, we really liked seeing all of that impact in our community. And I still do bake sales to that date, to the day.
I love that. I think that taking a passion of yours and turning it into something like this is fantastic. And I know it started with baked goods, but you've done much more than that with your organization. So talk to us about mental health kits. So why did you decide to add that to what you do, and what is inside a mental health kit?
Yes, so it has now been around 3 years since I started Let's Bake the World a Better Place. And about a year ago, I started thinking of what more can I do to expand our reach and expand our impact in our community. And I came up with the idea of continuing our bake sales, but using the bake sale to fund a community project. And that community project that I landed on was a mental health care packages for teens in our community. Because growing up and seeing, cancer patients and, people in the hospital receiving care package kits and all of these wonderful things from people in their community, I thought, why not have that for people who are struggling with their mental health or who might just need some support? And we came up with this idea, and we had our first bake sale and applied for grants. And we started making these care packages, and each care package contains just items that would comfort someone who are struggling or who might need some comfort throughout the day. They target the teens and middle schoolers and high schoolers, particularly. And each care package contains like a journal, fidgets, candy, stickers. And then the most important parts are a note card with a message written by someone in the community, another student, that has words of encouragement and, just things that would encourage that student who is struggling or that teen to reach out for help and to, find a better place where they could reach out and help themselves. And the other part of the care package kit or the care packages is a friendship bracelet that was made by someone in the community. And the point of the friendship bracelet, it's actually my favorite part in the the care package. The point of the care package bracelet is to show you that someone took the time to make something that is so intricate and so beautiful and unique, and that there's only one of those bracelets out there, and that is belongs to the person with the care package. And it should show them how special they are and that people care about them and that they're one of a kind. And so now we have kits. Thankfully, I've been able to work with Aevidum. We pushed out care package kits that can contain all of the materials to make all these care packages, that we pushed out to Aevidum clubs. And all of these Aevidum clubs were able to make these care packages for their community and identify where they thought students might need them the most and place them in the community and come together to make the care packages themselves.
That is amazing. I love how much thought went into these care packages. I love that you connected with the Avidum in such a fantastic way so we can get them to the students and the kids that need it. We
Yes.
talked about this a little bit earlier, but why does supporting mental health matter to you, especially as a young person?
Yes, so it really does touch back to watching so many people in my community struggle. I'm from a town called Downingtown, in Pennsylvania, where we have had too many young people take their own lives, and seeing that impact my community and impact my friends, and watching loved ones pass away from this, it has really shown me that there is such a need for education and resources, especially for young people where their minds are still developing. And there's lots of things that go on with young people that don't necessarily happen with as you get older. There's lots of bullying, there's lots of harder times where you're developing and learning more about yourself, but you're in these situations where you're still interacting with other people. And it's really important to identify that, and to have resources and places for students to get help and to learn about mental health and how to take care of themselves starting from a young age. And it's really important because mental health doesn't look the same for everyone. And the more that we build resources, the more resources will be available for people who have lots of different things going on.
Absolutely. And I applaud you for the work that you're doing as a young person. And I'm sure that people listening to this podcast might want to do something as well. So, Sophie, what advice do you have for young people like yourself that want to do something like this to raise awareness about mental health?
Really, I just encourage everyone to start off, even if it's something small, because even the smallest thing makes a difference. I love seeing that message through our mental health care packages. It is one care package and it can change someone's life. And you doing something that impacts just one person, whether it is something as simple as writing them a card, whether it is making care packages or finding another way to support students in your community, it can change one person's life. And it is so important, and you can do that. It is not hard. And, people are there. I think that's the biggest lesson I've learned through having Let's Make the World a Better Place, is that there's so many people who want to help you, who want to help you achieve, your dreams, and who want to help you do this fabulous work. And reaching out for help can sometimes be hard. It can be, frustrating. It can be scary, but it is really important because there are so many people who want to help you.
I think that's such an important lesson because I think people often feel like they're alone, where no one really understands them. They don't really feel like they can reach out to anyone. And so I see a lot of value in these mental health care packages. And I'm sure that people who are listening may want to get involved and help you put these care packages together. So how can folks get involved with what you're doing?
Yes, so there's a few ways. The most basic way is you can send me a message through our website or by email and request a care package kit for your school or organization. And then we will just send it to you free of cost. And you will be able to do that in your community and, impact the students in your community. Other ways you can get involved, we have an advisory board we're building if you want to be involved with more of the logistics surrounding the care packages and how we distribute them and how we collect materials, and running all the operations behind Let's Make the World a Better Place. Um, it's an incredible opportunity. I've learned so much about myself and, the community and what I would like to do in the future through this. And there's so many opportunities for people with all different, interests. So that's another way. But really, just reach out if you have any questions, if you want to help. There's always some way you can help. And I love meeting new people and talking to new people and hearing new ideas.
I love that, and I am sure that people are going to want to connect with you after this. Before we let you go, I'm so curious. In a short amount of time, you've been able to grow your organization to include so much more. In your crystal ball, like what does the future hold for you and your organization?
I'm really hoping, my favorite part is keeping it community based and seeing the impact in my community. I'm headed off to college in the fall and I'm going pretty far. I'm going to North Carolina and I'm hoping to, keep it alive up here, but also expand my reach down in North Carolina communities. But I really would like to focus on these mental health care packages because I can see the change that they're making and the difference in communities and the people that they're helping. And so, we have grants that we're continuing to work and expanding these care packages. And I hope to just be able to work with more people and place them in more organizations because it's so important to provide resources for students.
Absolutely. And Sophie, all of us at Aevidum are rooting for you. And we are so grateful that you came on the podcast to talk about your projects.
Thank you so much for having me. It has been so nice to talk with you and to share more about Let's Make the World a Better Place in our mental health care packages.
To learn more about Sophie's nonprofit, including the mental health care packages, check out letsbaketheworldabetterplace.com. In our next episode, we're talking about mental health for boys and young men. As always, thank you for listening to the Aevidum podcast. Special thanks to Wellspan for their support and to ND Sites for editing. You can follow Aevidum on Instagram at Aevidum. That's Aevidum. And you can learn more about what we do at aevidum.org. I'm Stephen G. Winmaw, and I've got your back.